gentlemen, I'm happy to announce we finally did it. This podcast finally got a sponsor. Doctor Who Reviews is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, Christ.
What? Raid Shadow Legends? You don't set... Am I making my marks right? I'm not sure. Yeah, tell me more, please.
And we just lost the sponsorship of Raid Shadow Legends. No, seriously, Bo. Welcome to another crazy week in the world we live in. And this time, we are looking at The Chase, written by Terry Nation, a First Doctor serial. And to discuss this with me, I have my two usual co-hosts. Firstly, call the fire department. It's FreezingInferno.
I get the name. Oh, I thought this was like a mirror joke or something. And I'm like, what?
No. I'm more original than that.
I cannot wait when he tries to come up with for concave usurper.
Oh,
Okay,
you're about to find out. And to my virtual right, call the police. In fact, don't. It's Cat.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, it's correct. I mean, not to get all political, but defund the police.
Not to get all political, but let's get political. Is what
Not
you
to
said
get all
there.
political, but ACAB.
No.
Too far?
That's a little bit too far. That's a little bit too far. I'm sorry, but when you've got people peeing on memorials to police officers that died preventing terrorist attacks in London, not ACAB at all.
It's a bit bad.
Let's talk about The Chase instead, because this is the one I picked that we had to wait weeks for it to get in the mail, and instead we watched Colin Baker and Plant Monsters.
Yes, this was your choice.
It finally came. I picked this one because it's we haven't done any First Doctor ones on this show yet. In fact, it's not an era that I myself really poked at until last year.
Well, little of it still exists. I mean,
yeah. Which is a fair few First Doctor stories still exist. It's the Second Doctor that's really wiped.
That surprises me.
Yeah, he's missing a lot of season 3, but most of seasons 1 and 2 are still around. But when you get to season 3, it's nothing left.
I know that if we technically take The Chase as a whole, this is technically my second First Doctor serial. The first one I saw was the one with the the Aztecs.
Oh, the Aztecs is a good one. That's probably the best one.
Yeah, that
one. It's a good one.
Barbara's really good in that.
It's
the
definitely
thing.
It's definitely an impactful story. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So impactful, I don't remember it.
Yeah, but
you'd remember it if you saw it again.
Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There we go.
Plague.
14 days. Isolation. Bugger. Right.
Fuck.
I think we're way past that.
Okay.
So The Chase, then.
So
The Chase starts when Broken Walsh introduces the show, and then introduces the 4 contestants. Then one of the contestants comes up to the podium and has a minute to answer questions.
Brainiac, honey.
Yeah.
Not that one.
Oh, right. Yes, the other Chase.
Yes.
The Terry Nation one from 1965.
I'm sorry. It's just because I really want to get on that show, and they still won't phone me up.
I know. It's hard. I'm sorry.
Damn you, ITV, give me a call. Right. So the actual Chase, then. The actual Doctor Who Chase. Split into 6 parts.
It's now 6-parters for me. I usually don't like them because at a certain point they drag because your writer has to stretch shit out to make their paycheck, basically. So sometimes this can be done in a variety of ways, and sometimes it's very transparent and it's obvious that they might as well be saying, and then everyone gets locked up for 25 minutes because I need to eat this week.
And you know what the best part about The Chase is? It's the beginning of the episodes that this is happening.
That jazzy shit?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the first couple of episodes were really slow.
I would say the entire serial is quite slow.
It's definitely a slower pace, but I guess I'm used to it since I've seen more 60s Who than either of you, I think.
It did not need to be. It did not need to be 6 parts long. I'm just going to say that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see how you could cut it to 4, but I've seen worse. I don't know about 2.
2 is easy.
4, maybe 3.
I would say you could have done to 4 or 5.
Yeah. I can see how you could do that with a little efficient cutting, but again, Terry Nation needed to eat, so...
Terry Nation needed to eat.
Yeah.
He didn't have enough food on his plate with the Daleks and the Cybernauts from the Avengers.
Honestly, like, the Troughton era one, base Under Siege stories, like, just throwing one out here, The Abominable Snowman, are really bad at this because the way they do a thing where I call untrustworthy, where whoever's in charge doesn't trust the Doctor because if they trusted the Doctor and believed them that they weren't behind these attacks by the mysterious monsters, this would be a 2-part. But the writers got to eat, so I don't believe you. Lock them up.
I do like the running gag of the writers got to eat. I have to say,
the writers got to eat. So the episode 1, which the Hartnell era had individual episode titles for its first 2 3/4 seasons. So instead of just The Chase episode 1, episode 1 is called The Executioners.
And I have no idea why.
Yeah,
well, because there's Doc.
Yeah, but that's still a really loose connection.
At no point do we see an execution. At no point do we see an executioner in part 1.
Really, more there being a judge here because they're judging the Doctor and saying he deserves to die, he gets the death sentence. That's not what an executioner does.
Really, the execution is of your entertainment because, as you said, it kind of drags a bit.
Yes.
But it is funny.
Yes.
So the first 10 minutes of this story, this episode, rather, are interesting. We immediately pick up on Daleks, they can see that the story is they have a time machine now, and they're going to chase the Doctor's TARDIS through time and exterminate them.
Yep.
So we have that thread established. So now, here's 10 minutes of everyone chilling out in the TARDIS and watching Time TV.
So, some people may not know this, and I found this out, a while ago, I think from Frez. Apparently Doctor Who used to be an, education show?
Partly educational, partly...
It was originally conceived as partly educational, yes.
This is why they go back to the past so goddamn much, like the Aztec story you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's teach the kids about Aztec history.
So essentially the time television is us being... It's like we are in a classroom with a teacher, and the teacher wheels in the TV, and everybody's like, yeah! But then she's like, you have to take notes on what we watch, and everybody's like, oh...
Yeah, so the time-space visualizer, as it's officially called, is a time TV. A massive fucking room-filling thing because this is 1965.
It fits the time because around then, that's what TVs actually looked like. Itty little screens with giant-ass cases.
She's right. She's actually right. I've seen photos of old televisions.
I used to have an old television.
From the 60s?
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Eventually, it was in my room, so I could watch my little, like these little tapes that my mom had. How it hooked up to the VCR, I honestly do not remember. But it was like this big-ass case with like this itty-bitty little TV. And then finally I got a big-ass TV on an itty-bitty little stand, so, you know.
Wild.
And then I saw The Ring, and then I couldn't sleep in my same room.
Oh, God.
How fun!
Yeah, so that was fun.
And then when you found out your mother hated you.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh no, it wasn't her fault. I had been home alone, and I was just like flicking through the channels. So I was like, "Oh, the horsey went off this boat. Why is there a little girl?"
Oh dear God.
Oh dear, no.
That's actually the same way I got my clown phobia, because it was the same thing. Was like, ooh, look, there's a happy little clown that's growing teeth and coming through us.
Oh, great! My favorite.
We don't mention Pennywise in front of Fresno.
Don't mention Pennywise for the cat.
Ew.
She brought it up, though.
See, I actually like the new Pennywise just because he's not as creepy as the old one.
Tim Curry.
Yeah, fair enough. So the time television then shows
Can we
different
talk about
scenes.
Abraham Lincoln?
It shows different scenes throughout history. So yeah, Ian picks the Gettysburg Address of Abraham Lincoln and a bad-looking Abraham Lincoln impersonator.
And we get to watch a guy in Abraham Lincoln cap. He doesn't even have the hat, and he just says the speech.
It's not even the hat that gets to me. It's the fact that the voice is all wrong. Apparently, Abraham Lincoln was supposed to have a rather high-pitched voice, but this was back then. I'm sure they didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, we're summarizing, because just imagine like some guy in an Abraham Lincoln outfit delivering.
Yeah.
He wasn't even really that tall looking.
We should mention that we can't really do unusual stuff, which is to look at the doctor, look at the companions, and look at the monster in the setting. You can't really do that with this serial.
This one's very episodic, so
we're just doing it one part at a time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the other classic Who reviews that we've done so far.
Barbara's choice is interesting.
Oh, I know this one. So, I forget exactly which of William Shakespeare's plays it was, but basically he wrote a story and it was acted out in front of the Queen Elizabeth I. And she got really into this one side character, and then he got killed off, and the Queen Elizabeth was like, hey, Shakespeare, come over here, please. The fuck you doing, dude? And basically sort of goaded him into writing up a brand new play around this one single character that she absolutely loved.
So Queen Elizabeth I invented the fan backlash retcon.
Yes.
The character.
She was the first true fan girl.
The character you're referring to is Falstaff. His name is Falstaff. He appears in Henry IV parts 1 and 2, and also Henry V. And the play that you're referring to, his solo, his spin-off play, The Merry Wives of Windsor.
Fun facts.
Educational.
So educational that the episode doesn't even say it.
Yeah, it's such
That's a fair point.
I knew that before you told me.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
And then somebody else also says, I've got an idea for a play for you as well, Shakespeare. Why don't you write about the Prince of Denmark?
I know who that was because I saw it in the credits, but now I can't remember who that was.
Francis Bacon, but they don't name him on screen.
Yes. For some reason, Francis Bacon is there.
Very famous Elizabethan nobleman. But he doesn't get named on screen.
Weird.
I just thought he was like, Queen Elizabeth's courtier, but no, it's Francis Bacon.
Wow. Another guy we have no idea who it is.
So, these scenes are basically just filler. But then Vicky comes along, and she completely brings the tone down by her choices.
Vicky, by the way, the companions in this episode are Ian and Barbara, who are a pair of teachers from 1963 who wandered into the TARDIS and got whisked away into adventure.
They've been in since the very beginning.
It's key here to realize before the end of the story that the Doctor can't steer the TARDIS, so he could never get them back to their own time.
I was wondering that.
Yeah. Anyway, Vicky is a girl from the 25th century who they rescued after her spaceship crashed on a deserted, well, not deserted planet, but alien planet.
Is it fair to say she's the Susan replacement?
Oh, she's absolutely the Susan replacement. She's a little more like of a character than Susan. Like, she's not as demure and here to get into trouble as Susan.
Well, I mean...
Well, I've seen her better written, let's say.
Yeah.
In this one,
anyway, her choice is very interesting because this 25th century girl picks the Beatles.
Yeah,
it's the Beatles. And I have the gripe because the DVD cuts this.
What?
Yay, copyright.
Yay, copyright. But
God damn it, Apple.
But I had to look that shit up because it's great. It's the Beatles. They're playing Ticket to Ride.
Damn you, Paul McCartney.
And the best fucking part is Ian's adorable little dad dance.
Oh, yes.
And then the doctor accidentally switches off the TV and he's like, "Oh no, you squashed my favorite Beatles."
Oh, no.
Boo.
So now that
Boo
we've
this
got
man.
that done, boo this man. And there's also a great joke where Vicky's like, "Huh, wow, that was neat, but I didn't know the Beatles played classical music."
Oh, my God.
Which makes no sense because she's the one who picked the Beatles to watch.
Yeah.
So surely she would know what kind of music they do.
Guess
So
not,
some more nothing happens.
we land on the desert planet Iridius, which has 2 suns. George, you fucking hack!
What?
A desert planet with 2 suns.
Oh,
Oh,
God, that's
oh,
me.
right, yes.
Fuck, I hate sand.
I was very confused for a second there.
Everywhere.
God damn.
I thought you were talking about the Beatles, guys. Like, what the hell did George Harrison do to you?
No, not that George. Not that George.
Not that George, the other George.
Anyway,
Cuckoo.
the plot doesn't really speed up or anything here. In fact, it's really leisurely. Ian and Vicky bungle into more trouble, and it's like, even I'm sitting here like, wow, these companions are being written uncharacteristically stupid.
It's
Like to get into trouble?
Somehow, on a desert planet full of absolutely fucking nothing, they managed to find the one thing that gets them into trouble.
Yeah, they find a blood trail in the desert, and they're just like, hey, let's go follow it, and let's not tell the doctor and Barbara, who are just, like, sunbathing, just lounging in the sand, just like, this is just like an off day for them, just off holiday.
You promised me that they're smarter than this, right?
Oh, I promise you, they're usually smarter than this.
Because I've played video games before, and usually a blood trail means there's a boss monster coming up, or you're in Dark Souls.
Well,
yeah, good nerd.
They end up finding a lever in the sand, which Ian pulls out of the ground like a doofus,
And breaks it.
which then opens up a hole underground in the sand, so you can go underground.
Which he climbs in like a doofus.
Which they climb in and get accosted by a tentacle monster.
Yay.
A cute little 1960s practical effect, BBC budget tentacle monster.
The Maya Beast.
Awesome, by the way.
Well, what a cute boy.
Well, you say it looks awesome. I say it looks like an octopus on its side, but
Well, yeah, but it makes sense knowing the backstory of the planet, which we'll get into in the second part.
for 60s effects, it looks pretty good.
Shut up, friends. We'll get to it.
Oh, we're getting to it, but in the meantime, I'm just helping summarize along. The Doctor and Barbara, they find on the Time TV that it tunes itself to a channel showing the Daleks who are after them.
Plot convenience, of course.
And since the Time TV shows things in the past, it's therefore like, oh no, that was in the past. That means they're coming here now. Oh, shit, we gotta find the others. And then the sandstorm kicks up and buries the TARDIS. And this leads to a funny thing because Ian has a TARDIS magnet to find the TARDIS with, but the Doctor and Barbara don't have it now. So
Did it ever explain what the hell that thing was?
It homes in on the TARDIS.
Did he get this in a previous adventure?
I don't remember. It's I'm just gonna say it's probably some nonsense Terry Nation pulled out of his ass because he.
I know what it is.
Plot convenience.
It's a little photo of the 11th Doctor that they just showed to the TARDIS, and she gets so fangirly she chases it.
Oh god.
Okay, but this leads to the episode 1 cliffhanger, which is ridiculous.
It's unintentionally hilarious.
Okay, so the cliffhanger, it would sound menacing in any other story, maybe. It's a Dalek rising out of the sand.
It's the sound. It's the sound it makes.
The Dalek is just like,
The Dalek is grunting. The Dalek has bronchitis.
Okay, here's the thing. Dalek stories in the classic series, they were usually called like something or other of the Daleks. And then the episode 1 cliffhanger is, oh shit, the Daleks are here. You know? But this one's called The Executioners, but you know from the top the Daleks are in it. Like, they're there, they're revealed.
It would have been really, really funny if like...
So the reveal is not only superfluous, but it's ridiculous and unintentionally hilarious.
It's the grunting with no background music just absolutely slays me in this scene.
So that leads us to episode 2, The Death of Time.
Yes.
Which...
Overconfident title.
Okay. Here's the thing. In this episode, we meet the natives of Iridius. And I want to say something up front. I swear to God, on a Bible, I will slap my hand on a Bible and swear.
Lies.
I did not remember these guys when I picked this story because the Iridians
are fish people.
They're fish people.
Well, they're lizard people, but they're close enough to fish people.
No. They used to live under the sea, Rainiac.
Yeah.
They're fish people.
I've got TARDIS Wiki up. It says lizard people.
They are fish people.
Listen. I am a canon destroyer. They're fish people.
I will turn this podcast around. They're lizard people.
Look, we're in a goddamn democracy, and 2 of us are saying it's fish people.
Okay, fine. It's fish people, but it isn't. But it's fish people. But it isn't.
This is where you think the story might like take its first real turn, you know. This is really just the resolution of this first setting. Was in episode 2 here. Looking at my notes, it's actually I don't have actually much to say about the overall plot of it. Just have a bunch of funny little notes. I don't know if any of you have anything to add.
There's a plot?
Yeah, there's a plot.
Yeah, stuff happens in Death of Time. That's right.
Stuff happens.
All right. Well, what I can remember, basically, they meet the Iridians.
Mm-hmm.
The Daleks kill one of the Iridians for reasons.
Exterminate, annihilate, exterminate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Exterminate, annihilate, obliterate. There's a lot of 8s here.
Basically.
Are you trying to suggest that the Daleks created the Stanley Parable?
Oh my god.
Yes.
Okay.
They also invented spiders.
The Iridians are blowing up like the tunnels where the tentacle monster Mire Beasts are because the Mire Beasts are invading their city, so they're blowing shit up. And the Doctor and pals race to get to this, but too late, and shit blows up and Ian gets conked on the head.
The Iridians also can't act for toffee.
Mm.
Their acting is really bad.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, this is one of the places where the chase kind of drags. I'm not gonna lie.
One?
Yeah, one. I'm not gonna lie. The middle section of the chase is when it gets the most like absolute gonzo, brilliant bullshit.
Yes.
You see what I mean, though, right? It's like the beginning of the episodes are just like, ugh.
Yeah, episode 2 it's fine. Like
Anyway,
you gotta think of this less as the form of episode 2 of a 6-part adventure, and more of just on this week's episode of Doctor Who, some bullshit in the desert.
yeah, they're almost like standalone episodes that are loosely connected rather than a full 6-part serial.
Yeah, that's just how it worked in the 60s. But as a standalone episode, this isn't really that great.
No.
Yeah.
And I don't have too much to say about it.
Well, Ian gets knocked out when the shaft explodes.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't kill him somehow. Then the Iridians take Barbara and the Doctor prisoner.
Because the Daleks threaten them, and they're like, "Okay, we got to give you all."
Yeah,
Daleks,
you've got a sun cycle to give them up, or we kill you all. Yeah. They kill these 2 slaves that they've got anyway.
Yeah, they dug out the TARDIS, and then they just shoot them because exterminate.
Yes. Anyway, long story short, Vicky blows a hole in the wall.
It's amazing. Vicky finds her way back. Then just as they're about to be given over to the Daleks, one of the Mire Beasts Kool-Aid Man's its way through a wall.
Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah!
I thought it was Vicky blew the hole in the wall, but no, it's the Maya Beast.
No, the Mire Beast.
And it absolutely devours this poor Iridian that Barbara tries to save, and the Doctor stops her.
And then they just sort of run off. And
Man who never would my ass.
They just skedaddle out of there.
You could argue that he's using the surprise appearance to get out of there and escape.
Yeah.
But still, she could have saved him.
But here's one of the questions I have. Something I've noticed with this Doctor is, and that I want to kind of find out is this a very cold Doctor? Because
yeah.
Okay.
He does. Yeah, he definitely has his cold moments.
He doesn't do much in emotional attachment.
Yeah.
No.
Well, there's a few little bright.
He does get a nice moment of emotional attachment towards the end, but for the most part, he's a bit cold. He's a bit standoffish. He's a bit I know everything.
Mm-hmm.
He has that wonderful sort of laugh that I really like.
Yeah. Here's the thing about the first Doctor. When I really started binging like his first season, like I always assumed he was just kind of a cold, gruff asshole, like Capaldi, but even more disdainful.
Clint
But
Eastwood, essentially.
yeah, kind of. But this Doctor has his moments where he resembles nothing short of Yoda from Empire Strikes Back. All that.
Yes, that's exactly it.
He has it's not just a laugh. He does some really impish, trollish shit.
The first Doctor is Yoda with hair, confirmed.
Basically.
But the cliffhanger to this particular episode is basically...
Oh my god, the way they get past the Daleks.
Oh my god,
the
this is
TARDIS.
amazing. So there's a hole in the ground. And they do the old puddle trick. They put Barbara's cardigan and the Doctor's jacket over the hole.
Not
and
even over the hole.
They
put
basically...
it, on
yeah.
the side hole.
They bait the Dalek into shooting at them.
And the
missing.
way they bait the Dalek is shooting at them is popping their head out of the hole and going, "Yoo-hoo, Dalek, over here!" And
Yes,
ducking
and
back
somehow
down
not getting
before
shot.
they're ready. I love that the Doctor just yells, "Woohoo, Archie!"
Yes. Anyway, long story short, the Dalek falls into the hole.
And I've written in my notes, the idiot rolled into a pit.
So half of every contestant on Robot Wars then.
God. And the Doctor and Co. leave Iridius in the TARDIS. So you would think that this would be, if you were sitting there in 1965 and you have no idea, you'd think this might be like a whole Dalek adventure on Iridius, where they go and meet different factions.
No such luck.
And escape and get captured and escape. But no. Well, luck for us, because 6 episodes of Iridius would be like, oh.
Yeah.
It does get better when they leave Iridius.
Oh yeah. The middle 2 episodes of The Chase are the reason I picked it.
Yeah, this is where it gets really suddenly. It goes from sort of plodding and not that good to really gonzo nuts.
Which is my kind of shit.
Yeah. I can see why you picked it.
Episode 3 is Flight Through Eternity.
Yeah.
And it's basically the denouement of the Iridius adventure is, oh, well, the Daleks suck. Well, let's get out of here. On to another adventure.
Yes, the Daleks are chasing them through time. They vow to chase through time and exterminate them all.
Exterminate that little.
So our next destination...
Well, before that, I want to point out an interesting line that clashes with lore, because this was like
not clashing with lore.
Oh, yeah.
You're clashing with lore? You don't
The Doctor says something about the TARDIS, and he says, ever since I constructed the ship.
Yes.
Which would seem to make... Which Terry Nation is implying that the Doctor just built the TARDIS.
See, this is what makes me laugh so much at the people that go, oh no, Chris Chibnall's ruined the lore forever. The lore was repeatedly changed.
Well, I mean, let's be fair. He completely has.
I'm not disputing that.
We're gonna make it. I'm gonna make a Chris Chibnall joke later.
It's not the first time.
Let's put it this way. We have the Doctor possibly being behind making the TARDIS, which he's a Time Lord on, Gallifrey. That could have been possible. Or at least at this time, he was a human. It could have been possible he had a hand in making the TARDIS. Whatever.
Even regeneration is a retcon.
Versus the Doctor being the whole reason behind the Time Lords at all. So
yeah,
which would be a little bit more lore story.
Yeah. But
anyway,
my point is, it doesn't matter.
Kat, let's not invoke bad episodes of Doctor Who. Instead, let's talk about how they land in New York, and it reminds us of Daleks and Man.
I see what you did there. Let's not talk about bad episodes.
As soon as the Statue of Liberty went up, I was like, no, not again.
As soon as the Statue of Liberty went, oh god, is that going to turn into a weeping angel?
Eventually.
Oh, Jesus.
The good episode set in Manhattan.
Okay, so part of episode 3 is set on, I don't know what you call it, not the roof, the sky.
The visitors gallery of the Statue of Liberty.
Empire State Building.
Empire State Building, sorry, yes.
Yes.
And there's this group of tourists.
Tread lightly. Just tread lightly.
Sorry. There's this group of tourists. There's a whole bunch of police officers. No. There's this group of tourists. There's this group of tourists, and one of them becomes separated from the group.
Well,
the hero of the story has appeared.
Before we get into him, can I just say that as soon as I saw Manhattan, I was like, oh god, 60s Doctor Who is going to try to do American stuff. All right, let's see how this goes. And then as soon as the tour guide spoke, I was like, yeah, this is New York. Yeah. Oh, guy just shoves a lady out of the way. Yeah.
Yeah, the fat guy just shoving people out of the way.
Yeah, that's really New York.
That's everywhere that's got a tourist attraction, I hate to say.
So,
yeah.
This is just... I guess this is this episode's attempt at comedy.
The key word being attempt.
It's still like...
I would argue the true comedy in this episode is the episode, like the whole serial is comedy. But...
This is wild.
Yeah.
So our lone tourist, hero of the story, Morton Dill. From Alabama.
Who isn't named again, but he is in the credits.
Yeah. He sees the TARDIS land. Well, he doesn't see it land. He's just looking out, and then he turns around and he's like, golly gee, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
And that is about as good an accent as you get.
Yeah, you actually did a better accent than he did.
There is a reason for his poor accent, which I'll get to later. But, yeah. So Morton Dill...
He's fucking British, because he is.
He encounters... Yeah. Don't push it, Kat. He encounters...
Oh, I'm pushing it.
You really... After the week we've had, you do not want to push it. So, he encounters the Doctor and friends coming out the TARDIS. He thinks this is a film set.
Oh, y'all are from Hollywood, ain't you?
They don't know what the hell he's talking about.
That is really good for us. That's like
to be fair,
that's better than Morton Dill ever did in the episode. He goes to get his camera. The TARDIS team are like, right, we're out of here. They disappear.
Oh, God, wait, hang on. I just want to highlight one of the best lines. I think it's just like.
I'm hoping it's the same one that I want to highlight.
The one where Barbara asks what year it is.
No, the one where she asks if he's from Earth.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like, "Oh God, they're doing a character," and then as soon as he said this line, it's like, "Yeah, he's from Alabama."
Anyway, Morton gets his camera. The TARDIS is gone. In its place is the Dalek time machine.
Oh Jesus! And then the Dalek comes out.
The Daleks come out and harass this poor tourist.
Actually, I think he harasses the Daleks more.
Yeah, he harasses the Daleks.
He's just like, "Oh wow, what a neat machine!" And they're
like,
wow,
for some reason they don't kill him.
Yeah,
I think essentially what this brings up is the fact that Morton Dill, let's put it this way. He's an idiot. He thinks this is a movie set. He's not afraid of a Dalek.
If this were in modern era Doctor Who story, or if this were even like the Fourth Doctor's era, Morton Dill would be a greasy little smear on the Empire State Building site.
He would get exterminated. Shit. The fact that he doesn't is weird, to be honest.
Because the Daleks did not have the best characterization in these early episodes.
I think my favorite part is when Morton Dill, hears his Alabama ass accent, pretends to be a Dalek.
Oh, God! It's the funniest shit.
So Dalek is just like, where are the time travelers? And he's like, I don't know. Or something to the similar effect.
Oh, Morton Dill MVP of the episode.
Let me get the transcript.
Okay, you do that. I'll sum up what happens
Doctor
next.
Who transcripts the chase. Let's see here.
The Daleks leave.
Planet surface.
Morton's tour group find him again, and he's basically on the floor, curled up in a ball.
Well, he's trying to find the secret passage where everybody came through. And of course, the tour group are like, ooh. It's something we should probably mention. And
oh, yeah, he says, when they ask where everyone went, he's just like, they just left.
Was this the top of the Aristocats? What the fuck?
Let me just, let me, here, I'll just read you some lines. Well, dang me if they ain't gone and done it again. This is the greatest thing. It's got to be around here somewhere. Just can't vanish into thin air. I know you're there somewhere, boy. Morton starts feeling the air and stamping on the floor as the group returns. There's got to be a trick to it somehow. Yes, sir. I bet it's hollow. That's what it is.
He sounds like Huckleberry Hound.
yeah.
Oh, well, that's just me doing it. I don't know. Sounds like not doing this voice. Help me, God.
My favorite line is definitely that, are you from Earth? No, I'm from Alabama line.
Yeah.
Anyway, with that comedy out of the way, we get to
More
the
comedy.
second setting of the episode. Well,
Let's be fair, the entire thing was not comedic. They had some pretty problematic...
The next time jump then, they land on board a ship.
And Barbara immediately bungles into trouble because why not?
Because the plot demands it.
So she goes off to look around the ship because she really likes ship, and immediately gets caught by one of the crew and assumed to be a stowaway because,
yes,
like you do.
Vicky saves her.
Vicky saves her because Vicky comes out
poor man on the
and
head.
bonks him on the head. And then Ian comes to Barbara's rescue, and Vicky bonks him on the head
too. Yeah. Can I just go on a little side tangent here? Ian gets beaten up a lot this serial.
He got bonked on the head on Iridius.
He got blown up in Iridius. He got bonked on the head on the ship.
I don't know. Well, he gets kind of tussled up and beat up in episode 5.
And he gets spooked in episode 4, but we'll get to that shortly.
Oh, yeah.
Because episode 4 is the best part.
Here's episode 3's wild shit that happens.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up when you think about it.
Yeah. So with Ian unconscious, the crewman comes to. At this point, Barbara, Vicky, and have dragged Ian off to the side and away.
They're out of here. There's
a stowaway on board, and there's two of them because one hit me from behind while I had the woman's wrists. So they organise a search party to find these two stowaways.
So yeah, the Doctor and co basically leave at this point, and then the Daleks show up.
Oh my god!
And when the Daleks show up, everyone loses their goddamn shit and leaps off of the boat in
so
abject
messed
terror.
up.
Oh, yeah. This is okay. And here's the thing: there's the reveal shot at the end, but you can clearly see what the thing is supposed to be revealed.
They do the reveal about 3 times.
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the very end with me.
Yeah, when they zoom in on the ship's name, it's the Mary Celeste.
Yeah,
So,
that's it. And so the Mary Celeste is an actual historical ship that was found adrift, and nobody to this day knows what happened to the crew.
That's not even the creepiest part.
There were no bodies.
Oh no, it's not that. The fact is that when it was found by another ship, which they looked at it, and the sails were kind of messed up. It was kind of like it had been in a storm, and the sails got messed up but never fixed. They got on the board, and as far as they could tell, everything was left perfectly in shape. There was maybe a couple of things that were around in the captain's room, but otherwise it was perfectly fine. The galley where they make food, all the food was put away, the dishes were put away, nothing was laid out for food. It was like completely still, and it was creepy as fuck.
This is an actual real life mystery. What happened to these people? And here's Terry Nation saying they jumped overboard because of big metal space aliens.
Oh, and this isn't the most messed up part. The most messed up part is that the captain had his wife and baby girl on board.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We get to see that happen.
Oh my god. Holy shit.
With her baby.
We also continue the trend of the Daleks being grossly depleted in numbers. In part 2, one falls down a hole. In part 3, one falls off the ship. For no reason.
He's just like going at and the Daleks aren't even really like threatening to kill them or anything.
No, they're trying to get information.
They're just like, where are the time travelers? And everyone's just like, and jump overboard, and they're just like, and the Daleks just like, wait,
and it just
come
falls
back,
off.
answer my. And he keeps following this one last straggler who jumps overboard, and he goes too far, and he falls into the water.
And the best bit is, because of the way they do this effect, the Dalek actually opens up. There's nothing in it.
So it's like, it's just wild that it's played for comedy. Like, oh, look at these people running, and they're terrified of the Daleks. And then you zoom in on the ship, and it's like, oh, these people fucking died.
Yeah.
We assume, anyway.
But you know what the worst part of this scene is?
What's that?
This is an ungodly part of this scene that, honestly, I could not believe that they did.
Oh, God, what?
And I know it was old Who, but come on, guys.
Huh?
What?
The Daleks are standing, but they're standing there by the wheel of the ship, and they put their own ship down on the main deck, and that one Dalek is up some stairs. What the hell, guys?
Yeah.
Daleks can't use stairs.
That's even weirder because in another part they say Daleks don't like stairs.
The very next part. The very next part.
Ian says they don't take care of the stairs.
Yeah.
We're safe up the staircase. No, you're not.
Yeah. Speaking of the very next part, we're about ready to get to that.
Oh god, my favourite part.
Oh, this is great.
This is
great.
This is the best. So, Journey into Terror.
I mean, I love episode 3 just for the gonzo bits of Morton Dill and the Mary Celeste, but this is fucking next level.
If you only have to
Episode
watch
4,
one episode of this, watch Journey into Terror, because this is just crazy.
Episode 4, Journey into Terror. Boo! Haunted house.
Yeah, an actual haunted house.
Oh my god! So
complete with bats, creepy atmosphere.
The TARDIS team lands in the creepy, spooky house, and there's a grand staircase. And Ian does say, "Well, this will keep it handy to avoid the Daleks." So.
No, it won't.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
So the girls, Barbara and Vicky, they go off on their own. Ian and the Doctor stick together, and they both encounter some rather spooky goings on in this house.
We got the spooky eyes fireplace, spooky scary skeletons, ghosts, a Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah, we got Frankenstein's monster.
As you do.
Frankie in the house.
Count fucking Dracula is in here.
Dracula shows up at some point. All he says is, "Hello, I am Count Dracula."
Then there's this one lady who just screams, "Ah, Trina!"
That's meant to be the Grey Lady, apparently.
Okay.
Not the Harry Potter character. Not the Harry Potter character.
Yeah.
Harry what?
Well, let's be fair. Knowing what we do now about J.K. Rowling, yeah.
Oh God, no!
It's a little hard to love that story.
I can't believe Hatsune Miku wrote 7 novels about Harry Potter.
No, Raniac. The person who created the Hatsune Miku created meme said Hey, don't do that. Hey, you can't claim that she did Harry Potter because...
Okay, I take that one back.
Yeah. Because of the implicit problematic nature of the books in general is exclusively the domain of Rowling.
Okay, fair enough.
Why are they
Let's talk about haunted house bullshit.
Yeah, speaking of not getting political, we just got political, but
what I really love about this story is the idea it flirts with. Because the Doctor's theory on what this is, he doesn't just think this is a haunted house. Because all the spooky shit is like the collective unconscious nightmare of the human mind.
Yeah.
So the implication, his running theory, is that the TARDIS materialized into a dream world?
Yeah. It's kind of like a prototype of the land of fiction.
Kind of.
Except not really, but we'll get to that.
Not really? I mean, it's such a fucking gonzo idea that I would love a story about that, where the Doctor time travels into a dream world.
I'm sure that's been done.
I mean, technically it has. It was the first episode of the Monk series.
Well, that's not a dream.
No, but it was close.
Look, you can cringe all you want. Extremist was good.
Extremist was good.
If we just treat that as a standalone episode and then say the other two parts happened off screen, it's good.
What other two parts? It's only Extremist.
There you go. But here's in another twist of the Doctor is totally wrong. He says, we're in a dream world. Yes, the Daleks totally can't chase us here. The Daleks proceed to then chase them there.
Narrator voice, the Daleks dematerialized.
But this leads to the actual goddamn chaos that ensues.
This is absolutely mad. I love every second of it. So, there's a big old schmoz in the main area of the haunted house. Frankie comes to fight. Frankie comes to fight the Daleks. Frankie wins against the Daleks.
Oh, he doesn't just win.
Frankie powerbombs the Dalek.
That killed him. That killed him. As God is my witness, he's broken in half.
Literally, he's broken in half. He snaps the Dalek in two.
Yeah, and all the Daleks exterminating guns do shit against any of these monsters.
You just see the white flash against the monsters, and they either don't do anything or just laugh. At one point, the Daleks just shoot in the background, because why not?
And there's all this chaos, and, in the chaos, unfortunately, the TARDIS team forgets Vicky. And they whoosh off.
Yeah, no great loss.
But lucky for her, she manages to stow away in the time machine.
Yeah, there's a big argument on board the TARDIS saying we have to go back for her. There's nothing I can do. She's lost. But they get this plan that if we can get the Dalek time machine, we can go back and save her. Quite what they come up with this plan, I have no idea, but that's the plan.
That's the plan.
So they decide,
what I do love is once the Daleks realize they can't be fucking monsters, they're just like, embark, embark, embark.
Yeah, they run away.
Run away!
Yeah.
And the final little twist of this whole crazy scenario.
The Doctor, even after they leave, is still convinced that it was totally a dream.
Before
He's
you
wrong.
Before you do the twist, can I just read out what I said yesterday as I was watching
Yes.
some live reacting?
Oh, please.
So this starts at around 3:24 p.m. I get to Frankenstein's monster, and I say, Frankenstein's monster, really? And then 3:25, oh good, a vampire that doesn't sparkle. A couple of seconds later, I say, I'm thinking either a movie or a amusement park haunted house. Skips a little bit more, and then I just go, okay, I'm sorry, but we're where? And then a little bit longer to about this reveal that we're about to give, and I'm like, called it!
So this is a better reveal than the Mary Celeste. Because they only do it once.
This was a theme park attraction.
It was a theme park ride. It was a theme park attraction.
In the future of 1996 at the Festival of Ghana.
In Ghana.
Which, can I say, those are really advanced animatronics for that time.
Yeah. And that's why Dracula has no dialogue apart from hello. That's why Dracula says nothing apart from hello, I'm Count Dracula.
Oh, I know, but
it's
still,
a robot.
think about it. You have Frankenstein's monster there. When the doctor in the end came in, he was just like, ugh, and then he laid back down. Which, you could see an animatronic doing that. When the Daleks came, he was like, ugh, and then started pounding the crap out of them all Hulk style.
And bombing.
I'm starting to see why the fair was closed down.
Frankenstein with a 3-on-1 handicap match.
Like, seriously.
It's no DQ.
That's impressive.
It's no DQ.
I'm just getting flashbacks to
that was the
Westworld
grand
now.
reveal. We're not quite done with episode 4 yet.
Oh, God, no. So, talking
Here
about
we
reveals...
have a reveal. Here we have a wild reveal on board the Dalek time machine. The Daleks' latest scheme to kill everyone.
I
And
have thoughts about this.
their scheme is create a robot duplicate of the Doctor and have him infiltrate the group and kill them.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
And since it's a evil double of the Doctor, I get to say, Doctor Who Mirror Alert!
Yes, you do. And I get to say this. So this idea, a robot doppelganger to kill the group and infiltrate the group and then kill them, that's a really good idea. It's a really clever idea. In theory, the execution of this is terrible, and I'll go into why. So the Daleks say that they've created an exact copy, a perfect likeness of the Doctor. The Doctor's duplicate steps out of the machine that it's formed in. It's a completely different actor.
Yeah, they didn't shoot Hartnell in like mid to long shot. Only in close-ups is it actually William
It's a completely different actor, but it has Hartnell's voice.
Yeah.
It's out of sync. The lip sync doesn't match up with the words.
It was the 60s. They didn't know.
And then it zooms in on William Hartnell, and suddenly it's perfect. They couldn't just have William Hartnell step out of the machine.
God almighty.
And then use this goddamn double throughout part 5 as well.
So let's talk about part 5. And here's the interesting title, the way the title works. Part 5 is called The Death of Doctor Who. Which the joke I made was, hey, I throw on the screen and it says The Death of Doctor Who. Did I throw on an anti-Chibnall video instead?
Don't yes. Chibnall at this point just seems like just too easy.
Well, I'm not dunking on Chibnall. I'm dunking on like the anti-Chibnall. Doctor Who dead forever. Canon has been destroyed, and then they throw googly eyes and Jodie Whittaker.
Or has to see her feet.
Oh, see her feet.
Oh,
it's the foot fetish guy, or the ex-foot fetish guy, because he admitted that was a troll. But I've talked about this guy before, but every time the BBC put out an official Doctor Who post, he puts something on there saying like, "Oh, this is a bad episode, and it would be bad until the Chibnall is sacked and Jodie Whittaker shows us off her feet." Like, what the fuck?
Okay. So
yeah, he said it was a troll, but I don't believe that.
He stopped posting about the foot fetish. Is all I can say.
So the title of the episode, "The Death of Doctor Who." Obviously, it's hinting at one of these doctors is going to die. Like, that's the threat there. Because
there should be a question mark after who, really. It was like the Death of Doctor Who.
Well,
which Doctor?
Yeah, but that's what they call him. Call the character Doctor Who.
Yes.
Just, they kind of do that today in Britain. Might do it in Britain these days.
Another retcon, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, was there another thing to the title? I'm not sure.
It's just the Death of Doctor Who. There's no pronunciation.
Anyway, episode 5 is basically we're on the planet Mechanus now, which, despite being called Mechanus, is full of lots of deadly vegetation and fungus that tries to eat anything that gets.
Well,
wait, Mechanus? We're on World 4 Donkey Kong Country 3? Sweet.
Yes.
If it's in a giant soul level.
Let's be fair. The Transformers were mechanical. They were robots in disguise. So, and there were animal ones. So there could very well be fungus ones.
Beast Wars.
The Mushroomicons, okay?
That was an
So
underrated show.
I don't have a lot
one.
of notes for episode 5 because
I do.
Admittedly, it's another place where the story kind of drags.
Oh, does it ever?
Yeah.
I just have one note for this episode, and it's pretty much about the doctor where it was just badger, 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 mushroom.
Oh,
no.
God damn it. So, yeah, it's 25 minutes of wandering around the jungle, and Vicky pops out to try and find people, and then other people get separated, and the doctor doubles running around with some other people.
Yeah, Vicky almost keeps getting eaten by mushrooms.
Well,
there is one part I love. Oh yeah. We should mention this thing is that the doctor has has cobbled together something to destroy the Daleks, but they can't use it in an enclosed area or it'll burn them up too.
It's a bomb.
And he lugs this around until mid part 6. So that's when that comes in. So
Yeah.
But what I love is when they find something left behind to drive away the fungus, and it's basically a giant barbecue lighter.
Yeah,
It's a rod with a light on the end of it.
Yeah.
it's
I thought it was fire. Well, it's either a big flashlight, but it looked more like a barbecue lighter to me.
And they say, great, with this light on a stick and this bomb, we're ready to take on the Daleks. Are you sure about that, Doctor? Are you sure you're sure?
And actually, talking about the first Doctor being cold. And
with this anal probe,
Oh,
we will stop.
They don't like it up them.
Since you mentioned, oh Jesus,
We're gonna put the sun where it don't shine.
Oh Jesus!
Your name will also go on the list.
Oh my God, yo! Since you mentioned the first Doctor being so cold and distant, it's interesting to see how the double of the Doctor tries to lure Barbara away.
It's perfect. It's a perfect facsimile.
Yeah. It's the perfect facsimile.
It's still a different actor.
The real Doctor and Ian go off to find Vicky, who they hear screaming in the jungle. And then the double comes in a couple minutes later, and he's just like, "Oh, hi, Barbara. Ian's dead. Yeah, he totally died."
I could have sworn in that part it was actually the Doctor who was the Doctor's actor playing him. It's
William Hartnell.
It cuts between Hartnell and the double.
Yeah.
The really bad double.
But yeah, it's just Ian's dead. Well, sorry, lol.
I don't want to dunk on whoever this actor was because it's not his fault.
No.
He doesn't even get to speak any lines. He just mimes it so Hartnell can do it in ADR. But
God almighty.
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. They had Hartnell there. He was already in the correct outfit. Why couldn't he just play the double when he wasn't on screen?
I don't know why. It must be. It really doesn't.
Did the stunt double want more money and they were just like, put him in more scenes?
Well, he doesn't get credited, so no.
I'm skipping ahead here because this episode, like we said, it is just wandering around the jungle.
There's a number of confrontations between the fake Doctor with Barbara, and then they eventually all meet up with Vicky. And then the robotic Doctor makes a mistake.
Oh boy!
He refers to Vicky as Susan.
What's happening is they're having that sort of Mexican standoff where it's like, which one's the double? I have no idea. The one that sounds like the robot actually sounds like a robot, but I guess it can't be him. So let's try to kill the real Doctor. And then
we get the Doctor on Dr. Kane fight.
Yeah, before this, he takes a swing at Barbara. And he misses Barbara by about 2 meters. Good job on you, Robot Doctor, for practicing social distancing before it was cool. and Barbara falls over anyway. The wind generated by that cane swing somehow knocks Barbara down.
Oh, God.
Elderly men fighting with canes.
Yes, they have a cane fight. It doesn't last very long. The robot loses because, of course, it loses.
Which makes no sense.
I'm not quite sure how it loses. I think the Doctor rips something out of its chest.
Yeah, he rips the wires out, disconnects it, discombobulates it, turns them off.
The Daleks lose all contact with the robot, so they know it's been destroyed.
Mm.
And then...
Which is interesting because when the Daleks find them later, after they take a nap, yeah, that shows you how thrilling this episode is. There's a big scene of every goddamn nap.
They have a time to take a rest, yes.
And then, while they're sleeping, the scope comes down from the ceiling and looks at them all very suspiciously.
Dun dun dun.
And then we move on to when they wake up.
Yeah.
So the Daleks track him down, and what's funny is this scene where it's just like, Ian suggests that the Doctor pretend to be the robot, and Barbara's like, that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
Meanwhile,
That's not going to work.
Just walking out of the room and heading
Doctor gonna faint, and Ian's just like, yeah, you're probably right. So anyway, Doctor, what? Where'd he go?
he goes to impersonate the robot.
It does not work.
It does not work.
It definitely does not.
He nearly gets killed.
He nearly gets killed, but as we've established, apparently you can dodge Dalek extermination fire, like, for free iframes or whatever.
Iframes.
The Doctor crew got super into yoga and they're just pushing that negativity away.
But then we get the cliffhanger to episode 5.
The Round Boy.
Oh, the Round Boys!
I like the Round Boys.
Everyone's cornered in a cave. There's no hope. The Daleks are coming. And then part of the cave opens up, and there's a Round Boy.
Giant metal orb.
This is a mechanoid.
Yeah. These things are kind of cute.
Yeah. Who doesn't love... They're basically giant, round, mechanical orbs. The Round Boys. Who have... And so that leads us into the final episode, Planet of Decision.
Oh boy.
Which everyone gets in the elevator with the Round, and oh lord, he's thick. They can't even fit. They're all like crowded in this elevator.
He takes up most of the space of the elevator.
He takes up most of the space on the goddamn elevator.
I thought maybe they were going to do a joke where Vicky has to basically ride on top of it to stay in the elevator.
Oh my god!
They don't do that.
Anyway, they have like this elevated city high up above the jungle of mechanists.
Yes.
Yeah.
They also have a prison.
Yes. Well, it's not a prison. Oh. Technically, it's a zoo.
Guess where the Doctor and friends end up?
And they end up here. But before that, we have the mechanoid talking to another mechanoid, which is special. It's
I'm
just
not
sure
if I have this correct, but as far as I can tell, it seems to be like, you guys ever, when you were kids, did you ever get to play with like the turtle and like the DOS stuff?
No.
You could give commands to the little turtle on the screen, and it would, do whatever you wanted, and it was like sort of a baby's first programming.
I have not heard of this.
I haven't, but I get what you're putting down.
Other people know what I'm talking. Essentially, you put in like go to left, put in a whole bunch of symbols, and then hit enter, and it would like turn left for eternity.
Okay.
So I think that's what these guys are doing, because they say enter a lot. I'm not entirely sure, but it sounded like that to me, and it just took me way back.
Yeah.
Aw.
Also, you guys had terrible childhoods, if you don't remember that.
Or we just didn't live in a country where you could get that, but yes.
I'm pretty sure it was widely available. I'll probably find like a video of it.
I don't remember it at all, but they're not alone in this zoo, however.
But,
and
so
this
yeah,
is the
as
interesting
Rainiac
part.
said,
Yeah.
The Doctor and crew get put into a little room, and the door locks behind them, and now they're in a
Logo.
zoo.
That's what it was called. Logo. Okay.
It doesn't ring a bell, but maybe.
But also in this zoo is a new character.
Morton Dill.
No, wait. No, that's wrong. Hang on.
No, Stephen Taylor.
Someone acting
Stephen Taylor.
But the reason we're saying Morton Dill is it's the same actor.
Yeah, same actor, Peter Purcell.
So you know how in Clara's first appearance they have her play a completely different character to Clara as a kind of preview for their full appearance as a companion. They do that here in the same story.
Wait, are you telling me Morton Dill is a Clara Echo?
No, not at all. But
He could be an ancestor.
basically,
Howdy, Doctor.
the story is this.
Look at this mirror.
Peter Purvis is the name of the actor. That's Stephen's actor. Fun fact, he went to my old school.
Really?
Seriously.
Holy shit.
Yeah. As did one of the Pet Shop Boys.
And
As
Jenna
did...
Coleman went to your old school, so
as did Jenna
Morton
Coleman.
Dill is a Clara Echo.
As did... Shut up. As did William Royce of Rolls-Royce. And other people you'll never have heard of. But, yeah. He had been cast as Stephen Taylor. And they had this idea to have him in another episode because he had, the quote, the beginnings of a beard at this point. Mm-hmm. So they thought, I know, we can cast him as two separate characters. So they also cast him as the incidental character, Morton Dill, who has no connection to Stephen whatsoever.
No.
So it's not quite like Oswin and Clara. It's more like Adiola, and actually no, because they're connected as well.
No,
it's more like the soothsayer played by Karen Gillan in Fires of Pompeii and Amy.
Okay. No, you're right, because I just remembered I read up on Dill's fate, where he apparently gets sent to an insane asylum after this. So, yeah.
Jesus.
In the novelization, he is a Clara wrecker, holy shit.
Oh my god.
Apparently they think he tried to tell people about the big metal things that he met and how they were making a movie, and nobody had no idea what he was talking about, so they just committed him.
Asylum of the Morton, coming soon to a big finish near you.
Holy shit!
He went to an asylum because of Daleks, so just
oh my god.
We found the first echo.
Also, apparently at the end of it, it was noted that the Dalek decided not to kill him because this fate was worse than death.
Jesus.
Yeah.
How would they know that?
This is some of the one type shit. Every companion is secretly Clara.
Okay, I want to bring up something that's kind of interesting here. Which is the mechanoids. And Stephen explains how they were sent to the planet ahead of colonizers to build the place up and make it hospitable and all that. Does that sound familiar to y'all?
Oh no.
It's the goddamn plot to Smile!
Yeah. But Smile's actually good.
Well, let's not go nuts.
Cat praising Frank Cottrell Boyce? What
let's not say things we can't take back later, but
I actually did kind of like Smile, so
it's better than his first effort.
Smile's fine.
It's middle of the road, which is good. So Stephen is an astronaut, and he's the is he the only survivor of a group or something? So. He's got this little panda mascot.
He crashed
landed. He's got a stuffed panda, yeah.
He crash landed, which he calls his mascot. That's about all we learn about Stephen.
It sounds familiar. It's almost like there was another guy who was a pilot who, a lot of pilots had mascots, and during a big war, his ship crashed. It's a wonder that this woman can't of exactly what's going on here.
Oh my god.
I think you mean it's a marvel. It's a marvel, not a wonder.
Well, no. Not DC. PC. Not DC. PC.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Look, you try to fucking shoehorn Detective Comics into a joke, and let's see how you do.
As efforts go, that wasn't half bad.
Anyway,
it was all bad.
One of the Daleks, the Daleks have those little suction cups?
Yes.
One of them trades that out for like a giant spinning plate.
That's cool. The radar.
It's just a giant satellite dish.
The whole time.
So. And then the round boys and Daleks get into a fight.
Yes. It's glorious.
But before that, a few things. The Daleks are coming up, so the Doctor and co. have to get to the roof of the mechanoid base and use a cable to climb down to escape. That's their escape plan. But the Doctor finally uses that bomb thing, which explodes in front of the Dalek, and the Dalek catches on fire and starts screaming, "Am exterminated! Am exterminated!"
Honestly, the Dalek voices are really jarring for me in this early era.
And the whole zoo lights on fire, and everyone's cable. They've got to hold on to it. But Steven, the dumb bitch, goes back for his fucking panda.
The dumb bitch.
The whole place is on fire, and he goes back for goddamn. I guess it's kind of like the volleyball.
Part 6 of the
That's
chase,
not
starring the
moving.
Doctor,
Wilson!
Ian Chesterton,
Wilson!
Barbara, Vicky, and Stephen, the dumb bitch.
But as y'all said, this leads to the greatest chaotic confusion.
It's amazing.
So
The
we,
Daleks versus the Mechanoids.
yeah, and it's actually an even fight. It's the amazing thing.
It's wild.
There are basically even casualties on both sides. Mechanoids are getting blown up and opened up by the Daleks, but Mechanoids are grabbing Daleks in place and immobilizing them, and then lighting them on fire with a flamethrower. What?
They've got goddamn little those little claws, like in the vending machines where you get plushies out of.
They've got cutting blades. Son of a bitch, this is Robot Wars.
Holy shit! And it's just edited so fast paced, and
It's Sergeant
cutting
Bash and Dead Metal.
everywhere. And there's fucking explosions and little cartoon explosions drawn on the frame, and it's just
For all I've
goddamn
crapped on
marvel.
the effects elsewhere, this is brilliant.
It's incredible.
All the
And the
budget
whole
went into this
goddamn-
fight.
And the whole goddamn city's coming down, and that's basically our grand finale.
Yeah, Vicky has vertigo for some reason. I don't know.
It's just another way of tension. Like, oh,
I don't know
no,
if this is
I
ever brought up
really like it.
ever before or ever again, but she can't get down without
I don't remember either.
closing
I
her
haven't seen
eyes.
I don't know.
it. Yeah.
The doctor's grand plan to help the vertigo sufferer is to blindfold her.
If I could just
Well-
say, one thing about that scene with the Daleks and the Mechanoids that kind of irritates me about New Who is that was the 60s. More than
Mhm.
likely, they had a much, much lower budget, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like pennies to the dollars, essentially. What annoys me the most is that they have all these great effects, just doing whatever they can to try to make this stuff. The fungi creatures on the planet look cool. The Merc beasts look pretty cool and original. And it's like, then we get all the shit we have in New Who with like all this CGI bull crap, and it's like, I miss practical effects that actually were good. You have all this money and you can't make practical effects look good? Come on. Please.
I'm sure there are
For all
some
the
examples
people,
of good practical effects.
For all the people rap on the Disney trilogy, so-called Disney trilogy of Star Wars films, the fact they went back to practical effects wherever possible is a big plus in its favour.
Yeah. It's like Jurassic Park. Do you really think Jurassic Park would be half as good as it is if it weren't for the fact that they made actual robot dinosaurs?
Oh God, no! That was incredible. That shit still holds up today.
Jaws was like Bruce. The animatronic shark was the most broken piece of shit, and yet that still was an amazing movie.
Well, that's less the practical effect worked, and more Spielberg was clever enough to cut away from it and build the tension and make you anticipate.
The best thing about Bruce, the animatronic shark, by the way, it shows up in an episode of Columbo.
Cool.
Seriously.
Columbo.
It guest stars in an episode of Columbo. And if I go any further on that, we'll have to make a Columbo podcast, because Columbo is the best goddamn thing. But
The best Columbo episode is when they talk to Kermit.
You talked to who, sorry?
The best
Kermit the
Columbo-
Frog.
Seriously?
Frez.
That's the great Muppet Caper Cat.
Frez.
Yes, darling.
That is not an episode of Columbo. Also, I'm not your darling.
It's been a while since I've seen The Great Muppet Caper. I think I'll watch that tonight, actually.
Oh yeah, good.
Yeah, he does have a 3-minute scene in that, and it is pretty great. But back to Doctor Who then.
The ending of the chase is a bit melancholy.
Yeah, the Daleks had been defeated. They get to the time machine. They're all dead.
Here's Ian, you little fucker. Here's the thing: they're all examining the Dalek time machine to make sure there's no Daleks
Oh God,
around.
yes.
And all of a sudden, they hear, "Time traveler spotted! Exterminate! Exterminate!" And Ian comes out just holding his goddamn nose.
Yeah.
And he's Dalek.
That got me.
A little fuck.
That actually got me. I thought it was like a lone survivor.
But here's the thing. You remember that their plan was the Dalek time machine is more accurate than the Doctor's TARDIS. So it can actually get to places that you want to go rather than just willy-nilly hit random and go through the entire universe. So once Ian and Barbara realize this, they decide, hey, with this thing, we have a chance to finally go home.
Yeah, they've had enough of the adventures.
We'd like to go home now. This might be the only chance we get.
Which I had to have you explain this because I kind of guessed it, but also I wasn't sure. Apparently, the Doctor can't steer the TARDIS, is what you said?
No, he can't.
No, not in the 60s, no.
And there was a little bit in here where part of the reason that they need the Dalek ship is because apparently the TARDIS can't go back to the same time that it's already been at.
Something like that. I'm not sure if that's
Not can't, but he can't do it.
He can't control.
Which doesn't make any sense because then you just wait a day and then go back.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, the Doctor takes this.
Wait a day.
The Doctor takes a suggestion from Ian and Barbara very well, by which he's absolutely furious about it. He basically likens it to suicide.
Because this is him looking down on them again, saying they're bumbling idiot humans who don't know a goddamn thing about time travel. But really, he doesn't want them to go.
Yeah, it's all a smokescreen that he doesn't want them to leave.
Barbara gets a lovely little scene where she tells him that they really just want to go home. They appreciate everything. They've grown close to him, but their chance to get home, they have to take it.
Yeah, and Vicky says they deserve the chance to try.
Yeah, Doctor, you've got to let them go if they want to go.
We're done making this sweet, sweet Doctor Who money, and we want to make sweet, sweet other money. So bye, bitch.
What's wild is we don't even really the proper goodbye, my dears. The Doctor just goes to show them how to operate the Dalek time machine, and then the Doctor and Vicky head out, and it dematerializes, and they're gone.
Yeah.
And so we come to the meme.
See, this is the reason I thought you wanted us to do this serial.
No, I wanted it because it's Gonzo. It also helps that this is a meme.
So they land it back in on Earth in the Dalek time machine against all the odds they make it, and they come out of the time machine, and Ian spots a TATS disc on a nearby car, and then he says, "We made it, London, 1965."
It's the line.
It's the meme.
I don't know this meme.
They play it like between every episode of
this
the Twitch
meme was part of Twitch Plays Doctor Who marathon.
It was part of their their in between episodes trailer.
Yeah,
thing.
the first Doctor's trailer, it has him go, "We made it, London 1965," and the fans just ate it up. And every time the trailer came on, they were just posting London 1965 in the chat.
Yeah, but then we get this cute, lovely modern day London.
The montage, the sightseeing montage. Yeah. This is cute.
It's a fun montage, and there's a fun bit with them on. It's either a bus or the train. I'm not sure.
It's a bus.
Yeah. And tying it all back together is the fact Doctor and Vicky are watching Ian and Barbara happily back in their own time on the Time TV.
Yeah. And Vicky's ecstatic because they survived, and then Doctor just turns and says, "I shall miss them." Yes, I shall miss them.
Aww.
And that's the one emotional beat he gets. It's really nice.
And that's basically the end of the episode, but there's one thing I should mention. Since it does come up next week. Stephen, who we don't see after the dumb bitch goes after his panda.
We do. We see him crawl out of the burning remains of the city.
Yeah, he crawls out and he's running around. Okay. Yeah. We don't see him after that, but he becomes a companion after this. So it's been a while since I've seen the next episode. I think it's the Time Meddler.
You should mention that, but yes.
I'm pretty sure he's stowed away on the TARDIS. He becomes companion for a while.
From what I've read up, he is discovered to have stowed away on board the TARDIS. I presume when the Doctor was showing Barbara and Ian how to operate the Dalek time machine, he saw his chance with an empty TARDIS and somehow got in.
And so new companion. But that is the chase.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Parts of it are really bad.
Not bad at all.
I wouldn't call it really bad. I parts of it slow.
It's what we commonly refer to as a curate's egg. It's good in parts.
So, final thoughts? Who we want to go?
I'm going to take this one first, if I might. So, as you rightly point out, parts of... What the hell is that?
That's my alpaca that fell.
Oh, that's cute.
That is
Have
cute.
I never showed you my giant alpaca?
No,
We have now.
I love him.
He's fantastic.
Yeah, he's adorable.
I'm going to take a picture with my hand in it so you guys can see exactly how big he is.
Okay, well, while you do that, I'll take this.
Do that,
so,
and let's give some thoughts.
As Jerry pointed out, parts of this are very long and stretched out. You could easily fit this into 4, maybe even 3 episodes. And parts of it just don't make any sense. Parts of it are boring. But the 3rd and the 4th parts of the serial in particular are great. The Morton Dill stuff, the Mary Celeste, the House of Horrors, and the Robot Doctor reveal are all highly recommended, although not always for the right reasons. Some of the things in this that are not meant to be funny are hilarious. Some of the things that are meant to be funny don't quite land the mark. It is, I don't want to say it's average, but it's definitely good and bad in places. But William Hartnell gives a good performance. He does actually fluff some of his lines, which is excusable because he was suffering from, I don't want to say dementia, but he would sometimes fluff his lines. It's one of the reasons why they replaced him with Patrick Troughton after a while. Less forgivable is Peter Purvis fluffs some of his lines to Stephen, despite the fact this was a pre-recorded show. So that's interesting. But yeah, the Daleks are complete idiots in this one. They are nowhere near the threat that they would later be established as in future stories. And yeah, it's just a decent adventure.
Keep in mind, this was also their 3rd appearance. Still very early days.
The Daleks and the Dalek invasion of Earth.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. and the lines got flubbed all the goddamn time in the 60s.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It's my first real time watching the first Doctor since the Aztecs.
Yeah. I picked this one because I remember those middle episodes as being absolute batshit. I wasn't wrong.
No.
Granted everything surrounding it can drag, but, well, as I've said at the top of the episode, I've seen worse dragging from 60s Who. So what we do have is very interesting episodic format of Doctor Who, where every episode basically is a new adventure, new and exciting and weird happening. It's got lots of great moments, stuff, a few dragging places here and there, like episode 1, 2, and 5, I'd say, are dragging. So, well, that's half the story. You know, half and half. Half of it drags, half of it is gonzo, brilliant nonsense like Morton Dill, the Mary Celeste, the Haunted House, and the Mechanoid Battle.
Wow, it's almost great.
It's pretty good.
Episode.
Like, you can throw this on and just generally have, like, a good time to an okay time. So, yeah, pretty fun. Cat?
Okay, Cat?
It was good.
It was.
But yeah, I mean, let's be completely fair here. Everything that we're saying is with the caveat that this is 2020. The original serial was in the 60s. You know, we could judge it by today's standards of things, but we also have to remember that back then, this probably was like mind-blowing with some of these effects. I mean, think about how the audiences reacted the first time that The Wizard of Oz came out, and that was the first time anybody ever saw color television, or in this case, a movie. It's like, it kind of puts into perspective exactly how amazing some of this stuff was. And that's why I like practical effects so much, is because they don't require a computer to model something, which is easy. Well, I say easy, but technically it's easier than having to do practical effects. Not to offend anybody who's an animator or whatever. But I mean, the practical effects were good. I liked most of the actors. Vicky was a little weird because apparently she's supposed to be a teenager.
I think.
Sure. I mean, she's a 13-year-old going on 30, but sure. And like you guys said, the story kind of dragged in places. There was a lot of stuff that could have been cut out, to be completely fair. But it was kind of obvious that, wanted to get his paycheck. But otherwise, I had a nice, fun romp. I mean, going through all the Gonzo shit was fun. I hope we get to see more of that.
Yeah?
Oh, hell yeah.
I would say good choice overall, Jerry.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you had fun.
It's always a good time to see a story I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I will not get that pleasure next time, however, because the choice falls back to me.
Oh, I think I know what you pick.
Oh no, you don't.
Huh? You're not gonna pick your B choice from last
Well, I
time.
might. That depends on Cat. Cat. 2, 3, 5, or 7.
Oh Lord. You know what? I'm going to actually do what I usually do. I'm going to pull up the Roll20 Google die, and I'm going to see what is closer.
Okay. Leave it to fate.
You said it was 3, 5, and 7?
2, 3, 5, or 7. Are your choices?
2, 3, 5, or 7. Okay. And it is an 11, so that means 7.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So next time then, myself, FreezingInferno, and Cat will be reviewing The Curse of Fenric.
Oh, hell yeah!
Perhaps one of the greatest classic serials of all time.
Oh,
thank you,
fuck,
Google. You chose as well.
Thank you, Gods of Fate. Thank you so much.
This is gonna be fucking rad, y'all.
And in the meantime, there's a couple more watch-alongs happening. On 18th of June, there is a Parting of the Ways watch-along. These are no longer the official ones with Emily Cook, but other people are doing them. So there's a Parting of the Ways watch-along on the 18th of June. There is a... which one is it? Oh, yes, this is why it's interesting. The Time Meddler on the 21st of June.
Oh, shit! That's the story that's right after the change.
Stephen's official debut.
Holy shit!
That's a fun one, because it introduces a character that you really should be coming back to Who someday.
Actually, I think I linked this to you a while ago. But do y'all care? If y'all don't care about Time Meddler spoilers, or if you do, like, jump ahead in it. But somebody, I'm not sure who it was, some writer, I think it was Jamie Matheson, shared a pitch he did where the meddling monk shows Rasputin, the Boney M song Rasputin, and fucks up history and has to get the doctor to come fix it.
Yeah, like I said, he really should be back in modern Doctor Who by now.
Yeah,
you could do so much with the monk.
You could.
I mean, if you want to see what they could do, Big Finish, they don't always get it right. But they have nailed pretty much the character of the monk, played by Rufus Hound.
I mean, the last time that we saw Doctor Who do monks, it didn't go that well.
No, not that monk.
No, this is the monk. This is a Time Lord.
Okay, just check.
A Time Lord that goes around fucking with history for kicks.
He's the Time Meddler of the title.
Well, he's not a Time Lord in the Time Meddler, but they kind of retconned him to be a Time Lord.
Yeah, the Time Lords aren't a thing in the First Doctor era.
They're not a thing until the end of the Second.
It is revealed that he is the same species as the Doctor, but not what that species is.
Which then retroactively makes.
Yes.
Anyway, we can wrap this one up.
We can. So thanks to the Gods of Fate. Thank you to you for talking about this Gonzo crazy episode with me. It was a lot of fun. Thank you to you, the audience, for listening to us for the past. Oh, look at my clock. At least hour and a half. Good God.
Hour 45, probably.
Yeah, but not all that will make it into the finished edit.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
No.
Never-ending podcast.
No. And join us next time. And join us next time for one of the all-time favourites, The Curse of Fenric.
Oh, this is gonna be so fucking good.
Again, thank you, Gods of Fate, and thank you, Kat.
Yay.
Until next time, bye for now. Doctor Who Reviews is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... I can't.
Jesus Christ.
I can't get a straight face doing that.
As if we could get sponsors.
I'll try that again.
Oh my god. Hello, Blooper Reel.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yeah, how are you today, Blooper Reel? Yeah, these scenes are just padding. They are just
Hang
padding.
on 1 second, please.
Yeah, mostly I know Francis Bacon from that that really funny text that I saw where a dude was like, he thought it said that people were quoting something and then saying France is bacon.
Oh no.
So he would like go up to people and make the quote and then say France is bacon.
France is
like,
bacon.
Oh, yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It wasn't until he saw it right now that he was like, oh.
The original Old Let Do from Arch.
And it was funny as hell.
France is bacon. I love that. I've got a fun fact about Francis Bacon. Well, not so much a fact, but the story about him. The story of his death, apparently.
Oh yeah, hilarious.
No,
Yeah.
I said it's funny as in weird, not funny ha-ha.
Yeah, okay.
Basically, he's supposed to have died in a really weird way where he was... If I get this right, he was stuffing snow into a chicken. And he caught hypothermia and died. But the really weird bit is this. The ghost of the chicken still wanders that house that he died in. So a goddamn roast chicken... If you believe the ghost stories of old England, a goddamn ghost of a roast chicken is wandering around to this day. You muted me, didn't you?
What?
I thought you muted me. That's the story.
That's really, really weird.
I did say it was weird. And not funny ha-ha at all. But that is apparently the story of how he died. Now, obviously, it being a story, it's probably not going to be real.
Yeah, because I'm wondering... Well, number one, I'm wondering why he's stuffing snow into a chicken.
Because I think he was mad.
And number... Okay.
Also, I don't think he should not be confused with Francis Bacon, the artist.
Oh, wait, do you mean he was mad as in insane, or mad as in...
No, not mad as in I'm mad as I'm going to take it. Mad as in crazy.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Oddly enough. My second question is, was it an alive chicken?
Hi. You've certainly missed a thing.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Shall we...
Yeah, you'll probably hear it if he actually puts it in.
Oh, put it in. I want to hear.
It might have to go in the blooper reel at the end, but I will do that.
Fine. Okay. 3, 2, 1, bleep.